What's going on, everybody? This is Josh back again with another video on Tech and Ish. Now, today's video is going to be somewhat different. As you can see my surroundings, I'm in my car. So it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit shorter as well. I've been a little bit busy, so, let's just roll with it. Today's video is going to be about 911. The latest episode just came out. It was out yesterday. And, you didn't really miss much. It's basically all about Athena, how Athena became a sergeant, which is actually kind of interesting because you get to actually see who recruited her and how she actually became an LAPD sergeant. Now, what I thought was actually interesting was the fact that they actually threw a flashback. They were throwing a lot of flashbacks in this. They threw flashbacks in it, and you actually saw Athena in college, and she met a recruiter, and that's basically how the whole ball started rolling. Now, a couple of things on here. This whole episode is basically just like an emotional kind of thing. I started thinking a bunch of stuff happening, but most of the stuff that I thought was all wrong. Athena ends up getting a home visit from her sergeant. Her sergeant ends up telling her that we found a gun. It ends up showing a flashback of an officer, and she's a woman. Now, my thoughts were, because the officer's wearing long sleeve, my thoughts were that Athena was training this officer and that officer died, and that's why she's no longer training anybody. That's my first thought. But it ends up turning out to be, it was about her ex-fiance who nobody even knew about. He ended up dying. He got shot as he was at a store, and nobody knew about it. Bobby didn't know about it. Her ex-husband didn't know about it. And she actually got involved in this case. She ended up finding the detective who's actually running with the case, because now that the gun has been found, the case is now being investigated all over again. The detective who's investigating is her fiance's best friend. Now, the fiance who died, his name's Emmett. So Emmett is the one who recruited Athena at the college. So Athena, I'm assuming that was just her first love. So she loves this guy. He ends up dying. And this is like one of those things that she could never lay to rest, no matter how many years has passed by, because they still haven't found the killer. Now, since the gun has been found, Athena goes beyond this thing. Like, she ends up looking for the whole thing. She ends up going to, talking to a bunch of people. This gun touched this hand. She ends up going to talk to this person. Person ends up saying, oh, this person gave it to me. And it just keeps on going back to back of, oh, I got it from this one. I got it from this one. Now, my first thoughts on who actually killed Emmett, was Athena's partner. Now, of course, Athena and her partner, they ended up having a bumpy road in the beginning. But then, he ended up liking her. But I thought that he was a dirty cop. Just certain things kept on giving me a vibe that he was a dirty cop, that he was the one who actually killed Emmett. So I thought that the gun was going to end up leading back to that officer. But that's not what happened. So it ends up keep on going back. Athena ends up asking help from Maddie. They end up going through 911 records, and they brought in a hell of boxes. So they stayed a long time trying to find it. They end up finding the 911 phone call. And it all led to a guy who had an overdose at an hotel. It looks like the one who actually killed Emmett was robbing the store that Emmett was at. He was, shopping. And the guy ended up robbing the store, and he saw Emmett, and he ends up shooting him. So that guy who ended up shooting him, he was a drug addict. He ended up going through the whole thing where he cut himself with whatever glass that was there. He ended up going to the hotel, and he ended up having like an overdose. They took him to the hospital, and Athena kind of put two and two together because the hotel was like right across the street from where Emmett was shot. She ended up finding that guy because there's a sketch out for him, but nobody could ever put his face to it. She ends up finding that guy, and this guy is now like 40, 50 years old. And he turned his life around. He lives in this nice big house. He says that he always helps at-risk kids. So ever since that happened, he's changed his life around. But Athena doesn't care about that. She's thinking at the fact that while you were over there, moving on with your life, getting your life better, we had to deal with Emmett's death and his killer getting away. Now, in a way, I kind of thought that Athena was going to let him go, but that's not what happened. She ends up cuffing his ass. Now, what I liked about this was the fact that they actually showed a clip of Emmett in that store and Emmett actually getting shot by the guy. The guy ends up, the drug addict, or the ex-drug addict, he told Athena that he was just out of his mind. His mind was just going 100 miles per hour. The guy at the cash register was taking too long, and he was just panicking the whole time. Right when Emmett was trying to talk to the drug addict, he turns around and he shoots Emmett right there and then. So I actually liked this episode because of the flashbacks that they were giving off, and it explained a little bit about Athena's background. So there's, you ended up hearing about Bobby's background. Now you hear about Athena's background. I think they might end up including a lot of other people's background into this. So I'm hoping they do. Now, this episode was good, but there's nothing, nothing happening. No 911 calls like you normally see it. Bucky's not in it. The only people you end up seeing is Bobby, Hen, Maddie. You don't really see that many people in this. So either way, this episode was pretty good, so you should definitely go check it out. But now, since we're here at the final end of this episode, now I gotta wait until the next one comes out, and I'll definitely let you know what I think about that one. So don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's something you want me to check out. Just leave that in the comments, and I'll definitely review it. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.